The following is a production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a home run. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
The Tigers are SEC tournament champions.
game
There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back.
lives. It's now time for the Extra Point, Auburn's best sports talk personalities on Auburn's best station.
We the North are now we the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Auburn's most watched sports TV show, Auburn's best sports talk radio show.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer, Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Call in at 334-844-9345 to join the debate.
Oh my God!
Deep to right field, way up there, and way out of here! Second deck walk-off home run! Grand slam, Bryce Harper!
Lock in. The Extra Point starts now on WEGL Radio and Eagle Eye TV, presented by WEGL Sports, where every game lives.
Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
And welcome into the Thursday edition of the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV. I'm your host, Jared Dillon, and joining me in the studio is my arch nemesis, Carter Bird, Ada Kowalski, and Jack Hart. We'll start with Jack. Jack, it's a big game tonight. Got the Panthers jersey on. Panthers Bucks Thursday Night Football. How you feeling?
Feeling great. It's Thursday, nearly the weekend. Getting ready to be done with this week and watching some football tonight.
Hey, Jack, I have a question. How do you think Thomas Davis is going to play tonight?
I think he isn't playing tonight, and that's why this jersey was $10.
Or it's your proof that you're not a bandwagon Panthers fan?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you don't want to be a bandwagon fan like a couple Browns fans are.
Yeah, like if you have a Duke Johnson jersey that you bought this summer.
Circle the wagons.
Circle the wagons. Aiden, Thursday morning, how are we doing?
Jared, I slept through my 8 a.m., so I'm well rested for this show.
Missed you, Aiden.
I know.
I will make sure to send this video clip copy to your professor.
Very good.
Carter, how are you doing this fine Thursday morning?
I'm great. I'm ready to continue my reign as number one in the picks.
We will get to pick them in the second hour, as we'll be picking this Thursday. We'll be picking the matchups for this weekend in college football. We will get the updated standings between WEGL Radio and the Auburn Plainsmen. I believe the Auburn Plainsmen still leads us, but you know what? We have a lot of heart and spirit, and we believe that we can come back. So we will see how that goes for us. For right now, let's get into some more pressing matters. And by pressing matters, I mean the Jets are still falling apart, as a report came out not too long ago, maybe less than 30 minutes ago, from the grapevines of news sources, that Sam Darnold is out with mono. It's like a story straight out of high school. That
I actually just saw that on Instagram.
Sam Darnold is out with mono.
Well, was that like 30 minutes ago that came out?
Just about.
Man, we were just hitting it breaking.
So
I like this.
He will miss the game versus the Browns. Former Broncos starting quarterback, also nicknamed by somebody I know as Captain Stanton, Trevor Siemian, coming in to start for the New York Jets. So there goes the Jets. As are they giving the Dolphins a run for their money of being the worst team in the league? I mean, you have Le'Veon, so it's not bad. Don't look at me like the Jets didn't play bad last week. They did. They blew a lead to the Buffalo Bills when Josh Allen looked like he tried to match Jameis Winston on the field.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's pump the brakes on. Are they as bad as the Dolphins?
I said, are they trying to match
The
the
Dolphins gave up
I didn't-
400 passing yards and 5 touchdowns to a quarterback that's supposed to not even be able to throw.
I did not say they are as bad as the Dolphins. I said, are they trying to match the Dolphins?
That doesn't make sense. They spent the most money in free agency of anybody
Just
this
because
offseason.
you know how to spend money does not mean you know what you're doing. Look at the Knicks.
Okay, that's different because the Knicks whiff on everybody they want. The Jets got the 2 big names that they wanted this offseason. They got C.J. Mosley, who balled out and got himself 2 turnovers this past weekend, and they have Lev Bell, who's a top 5 running back in the league.
And what did that do for them against the Bills?
Well, yeah, because Sam Darnold is overrated, but I mean,
So this is not a problem.
What can
my
you do?
My point is, no matter what the Jets did, they have a head coach who could not even succeed in Miami. He left before it caught on fire. He is a control freak. I don't know if you saw what he said in his press conference after the game, but the man is an absolute control freak with NFL franchises. There's a reason why a lot of players don't like him. And now, not only did he lose one of his best wide receivers in Quincy, right? Not only is one of his top tight ends suspended in Herndon, but now his quarterback is apparently out with the cooties.
Yeah, it definitely hurts losing Sam Darnold for sure for Trevor Siemian, because Trevor Siemian, we've seen how average he is. And then Quincy Enunwa being, the number 2 receiver behind Jamison Crowder, him going down for the year, for the second time in 3 years. I mean, that's
don't forget,
that's a brutal start for them.
And don't forget, Coach Gase pretty much calling out Robbie Anderson for his, lack of route running.
Well, Robbie Anderson only knows how to run one route, and that's the straight line to the end zone. And if you can hit him, great. If you can't, then he's going to catch one pass every 3 weeks. But then you also have so they play the Browns, who are coming off a brutal Sunday where they lost they got thrashed by the Titans by 43-13. In a game that Baker Mayfield threw 3 picks in the fourth quarter, including a pick 6. And now the Jets are absolutely shorthanded. So if the Jets figure out a way to win on Monday night, then Browns season, like I wrote in the board in there, cancel it, because Trevor Siemian should not ever beat the talent that is on this Browns team.
Well,
although the Browns can't commit 20 penalties and have 18 of them accepted on Monday night, because that's like we're approaching territory of the U in the 80s when they would just get penalties and just not care. Except the U was so much physically better than everybody else that it didn't matter. They'd still beat you by 35.
yeah, not the best showing the Browns had, especially when, Greg Robinson kicked a guy in the head. Where you go to that?
Hey, and then Angelo Blackson went and got himself a penalty as well on the Monday night game. We're personal fouls all over the place.
And so I wonder if you guys saw this headline where did you see what happened with the Browns and a certain fan with last week's game?
Yes, the fan that poured his beer out on the Titans defenders after they scored the pick 6.
Yes, Logan Ryan. A fan poured the beer out on Logan Ryan after that pick, and the Browns banned that fan from attending their games.
That's sad.
However, they banned the wrong person. And so now there's a report coming out this morning saying this one guy said he got banned, and pretty much it's not him. So, oopsies again.
I mean,
shades of Malice at the Palace.
Yes.
This is, I feel like it's the most Browns thing ever to try to ban a fan for throwing a beer on, or pouring out his beer on the opposing players, and then accidentally banning the wrong one.
Only if this would have happened a couple of years ago when the Browns were just they're to the point of no return, and then that happens.
Well, we don't know if the Browns aren't trash yet because
year,
they can't stop getting penalties.
I mean, it's only week 1.
I mean,
well, it's only been past week 1, so
Hey,
I wouldn't go that far yet.
Jack, here's a stat that should help you out tonight. While Jameis Winston and the Bucs take the field, know that Jameis Winston currently has lost 12 straight road games, and the Buccaneers are 0-14 in the last 14 road games that he's played in. His last road win was December 4th, 2016 against the San Diego Chargers. Yikes.
So Jameis can be putting on the chef hat, opening up the bakery, serving up some turnovers to that whole Panthers defense. I think that's what's going to happen.
We'll see. But Jameis Winston, Carter, that doesn't bode well for you. Carter, Jameis Winston being on your fantasy team this week, you may want to, roll the dice how you want to roll it. But he's currently your starter.
My thought process is Bruce Arians has a history of getting the best out of his quarterbacks and figuring the offense out. And so my hope is that we can somewhat fix Jameis into not throwing 87 pick sixes this season. Because right now, hey, he's on pace for a cool 32 pick sixes on the year, which would be not ideal for me, the Bucs, or Bruce Arians in his first year back out of the booth as the head coach for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I just don't like Bruce Arians and best in the same sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
he did lead the coachless Colts to the playoffs.
No, Andrew Luck plus Chuck Pagano going through chemo led the Colts.
I was thinking
Chuck Pagano wasn't there.
Thinking about Cardinals era Bruce Arians and how that went for the Cardinals.
The Carson Palmer years, man. They were.
That was getting the best out of his very old quarterback.
Yes, exactly.
So we'll see what's going on with the Buccaneers later tonight. As Jack, I do wish the Panthers all the luck, and hopefully you're not as mad as last week. Hopefully DJ Moore does not cause any more fumbles.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
DJ Moore fumbles more than any receiver I've ever seen. Like, for the amount of times he touches the ball, 1 out of every 3 is a fumble. It's wild.
So, DJ Moore,
it's something special.
Needs some stickum on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna head
it's
to
okay because they have Odell Beckham Light and Curtis Samuel. What a take by Chris.
Hey, look, talk your talk, man. Here we go. So we're going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more of the extra point. Here's something that is a pretty cool stat. Derek Carr, Raiders quarterback, only needs 81 yards to become the Raiders' all-time passing leader. Yes.
Can you save him?
Yes. All that and more on the other side of this break. You're listening and watching Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
Everybody with me. It's time to get together, no more enemies. Throw your hands up, can you feel the energy? Come on, can you finally hear what this means?
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Danger. I don't fit in on a stranger. Believer. I can take out all the evil. Empowerment to all my people.
Apparently, we are losers. The USA loses again. This time, we can't finish higher than 7th in the FIBA championships now. Yeah, so after winning 58 games in a row, the USA has now dropped back-to-back games.
USA scored 7 points in the first quarter, 32-7 first quarter when the horn blew.
So
against Serbia.
I'm not viewing this as Team USA. I'm
5 point
viewing
loss.
this
That's
as
Celtics?
the Boston Celtics.
I mean,
And the Boston Celtics are overrated. And their team chemistry is better, but their team is way worse.
I guess you can say that. Sure, we can blame on it. Look, personally, I have no problem blaming Boston for a lot of things that's wrong with America, okay? But, I mean...
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts.
Great sports town.
Dunkin' Donuts. That's true. Inferior. I won't get into a debate about that here. But, that being said...
Philly comes crashing in the studio.
I think, the city of Boston has something like 154 Dunkin' Donuts.
There are 3 times as many Dunkin' Donuts on Long Island as there are west of the Mississippi River.
It's like it's like Starbucks in New York City.
So, USA goes down to Serbia, 7-point first quarter. I mean, look, I know this team has like Kemba, Chris Middleton, Harrison Barnes, and I know it's not like, Kemba's a big name, but I know that like Chris Middleton and Harrison Barnes aren't,
And Harrison Barnes is getting paid.
I mean, they're all getting paid. this, in the NBA, I can go sit on the bench and get $2 million. They're all getting paid. But like I know they're not household names, but they're still the best of the best in the world, or so we thought, right? But now they can't even finish higher than 7th.
Who did we lose to today?
Serbia. It's
Who-
going to be our.
Is there an NBA player on the Serbian roster?
Boban, Bogdan Bogdanovic. I said Boban, the other one.
Wait,
that's just like
are
that.
both Bogdanoviches on the team?
I don't have the Serbian roster in front of me, but Bogdanovic.
Bojan and it's Bogdan and Bojan.
Yeah, pretty much. He was on the Serbia team.
And would they both go for like 40 in order to beat us?
Well, no, he went for 28.
It was after that dismal first quarter performance. They actually bounced back and went on a 33-12 second quarter, and the game only ended up being a 5-point game.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Still an L to Serbia.
But a valiant effort to come back. I mean, give them credit, I guess.
No.
No.
Now the United States will play Poland on Saturday, 3 a.m. for a shot at 7th place.
So they are playing Poland.
Yeah.
It just says over here Czech Republic or Poland.
Hang on.
Alarm
Has
clocks?
Poland ever produced an NBA player?
It doesn't matter if they win. If they win, then they might as well. I don't know who's on the Polish national team.
I'm looking up Polish NBA players.
Oh, Gortat's from Poland.
Oh, Martin? Yeah.
And that's,
okay.
And that's it.
I mean,
there's other guys.
Serbia only needed Bogdanovic, and they won, so it ain't much.
They had 2 Bogdanoviches.
Okay. Okay, so they had to buy one, get one free. I don't know.
All right, so there have been 5 Polish NBA players all time. 5.
Is one of them named Kowalski?
No.
Darn.
Just real shot in the dark there.
Hey, Kowalski is as common name in Poland as Smith is here in the United States.
Or Williams.
Williams? Debatable.
Williams is a pretty common name.
I'd say, Smith is like...
Do you recognize any of the Polish players, Carter?
Marcin Gortat.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the only one I could.
He's the
I
only
recognize.
one that averaged more than
5 minutes?
9.87 minutes per game in their NBA
jeez.
career. And the only one that's played in the NBA since... Hang on. While it loads... I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. His last name's Lampy, but his first
Lampy?
name... His first
That's a new
name...
nickname for you.
Why? Because there's a lava lamp right there?
Yeah.
That I had on the show one day. So this guy is 34 years old. Was he drafted? First pick of the second round by, can you guess the team? Oh, gosh.
Wait,
love
NBA?
It. Yes.
Wait, is this Lampy?
He has not played in the NBA since 2006.
Sacramento.
Is this Lampy?
Yes.
The New Jersey Nets.
I'm going to go with...
Come on.
In
Come on.
in 06...
Who's the team that you think the most, just like, because of how their organization works?
Spurs.
No.
Spurs are like the international team.
No, the Mavs are, and you should know that. But
yes.
I'm talking about the Knicks, because this guy turned out to be nothing.
Bring it back around. The Knicks don't know how to do anything. The Knicks are one of the worst run organizations that I've ever seen, and I've been in Weagle for 6 years.
Okay.
It's like a little inside joke. Nobody laughs. I guess it's not that funny.
Do you see me laughing?
No, I don't. So yeah, USA loses, and it kind of lost a little bit of the spirit. After I saw that what they did in the first quarter, wasn't really banking that they were gonna pull it out.
So Marcin Gortat in the NBA last year averaged a blazing 4.96 points per game and 5.55 rebounds.
He was the
Hey, that's decent.
He was the what's that team? The Wizards. I kept wanting to say the Cavs.
Oh, that game.
It was
The
their
Clippers.
big. It was their big. It was the Wizards' big man for a long time.
Yes, and his peak was the 2011 to 2016 years where he averaged double-digit points for that entire stretch and basically like 8.5 rebounds a game.
There's some tough news that we got to report here. Okay,
Is it staying in the NBA?
it
Is
is.
it anything
Okay.
about Antonio Brown?
I think I know
No.
what's coming.
LeBron James did not get his Taco Tuesday trademark.
Oh gosh.
If you have not, please go watch the September 4th show. If you don't know what Taco Tuesday is, because
Javon Feller will help
Javon
you.
breaks it down for it in a way that no one else can.
LeBron did not get his Taco Tuesday trademark. It is honestly, write your congressman, write your congresswomen, because this is a travesty.
And
You got to fill me in here. What is going on?
So Taco Tuesday.
So basketball.
is,
So basketball. Yeah.
well, we did say we're staying in the NBA. Taco Tuesday, LeBron James, Instagram. LeBron every Tuesday always comes in, always yelled, "It's Taco Tuesday," right? And then his kids get on it. It's Taco Tuesday. It's just a fun little thing that he does on Tuesday, every Tuesday.
And you can expect
It's
that
Taco
to be
Tuesday.
on
He
Instagram.
tried to trademark it, even though it's been a very common theme for
Anyone.
Mexican restaurants and
the
Just
leg,
anyone.
anybody that
the
Anyone.
Lego
eats,
movie.
that eats tacos on Tuesdays.
On a Tuesday.
It's well known that Tuesday is Taco
So
Tuesday.
if he
and
switches-
he tried to trademark it.
If he switches to Taco Thursday,
It doesn't have the same ring.
it doesn't have the
Yeah.
same ring, but could he get it?
Why would
Do
he
you-
want?
wait,
Why would
should
he want
we
that?
trademark Taco Thursday?
No. Because we don't even get food in the studio. Jared, the day you bring tacos in on a Thursday, we can do whatever you want.
Well, next Tuesday, watch out. So,
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Speaking of trademarks getting denied, another trademark has been denied on the same day, mind you. They were busy at the patent office. That red school from up north in Columbus is not going to be able to call themselves the Ohio State University for much longer because they denied them just putting "the" on their merchandise and trademarking that.
Still an all-time troll by Michigan, just putting when Ohio State put out their "the" graphic, them putting out the "of" graphic for University of Michigan.
If only the social media teams played in the football games.
yeah, Michigan would probably still find out a way to lose.
Yeah.
Yikes. That was, hey.
True.
What can you do about Army? Army's good, man.
Wait, how did we get to
Michigan?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a decent jump we made there.
Decent.
Literally, no. They played.
Literally,
it's the game that we're talking about Michigan.
It was
Michigan almost lost to Army.
I was literally referencing that Michigan always loses to Ohio State.
And
it
then
was
he
the
brought up the football
foosball
team.
game last weekend.
And they played Army literally on Saturday.
Yes,
and
I know.
Literally
we
went to
texted
overtime.
about it. I know who they played.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't going that direction.
Hey, Army right now should have back-to-back years beating a top 10 Power 5 team.
Well,
they've come close.
You hate to see it. Look, if they would have just made that game-winning field goal, we could have stormed the field.
Well,
if they would have thrown more than one pass.
And that one pass not being interception.
Hang on.
Well, to be fair,
they tried to throw a pass on the goal line, but
Yeah.
they don't throw passes for sometimes a month. They won't throw a pass because it's not their offense, and they tried to throw a pass on the goal line.
Yeah, they got intercepted.
Yeah, if you just run the daggum ball, then you're fine. And then
I
you
find it
have to throw a pass at the end. Your quarterback gets sacked and fumbled, and you lose.
very funny that Michigan was unable to stop the Army offense when they knew it was coming every single down. I knew it was coming every single down.
The problem is you know it's coming
Until you don't.
That's not what I was going to say at
No?
all.
Okay.
But there's three things coming.
Well, yeah.
And you've got to cover them all. It's the art of the triple option. You gotta the end's got to take the fullback dive. The outside linebacker's got to take the quarterback, and then your safety or corner has to take the other running back.
Thank you for breaking down the triple option for us. Alabama needs it. I bet they want to schedule Citadel again. Honestly, even I wouldn't schedule Citadel, to be quite honest.
What if old Kent State breaks out the triple option with Woody Barrett on Saturday?
We better watch out.
All of a sudden, that 35.5 line
Isn't that 35.5?
probably shrink a little bit.
Didn't it open up at like 28 or 25?
34.
Open at 34?
Yeah.
Okay. 35. I'm not taking Auburn on that. Honestly,
I think this is one of those games that Gus there's questions about the offense.
Carter, we talked about this.
And regardless of
Carter, we talked about this.
What did we talk about?
There are two things you never do.
I'm not saying I'm betting on it. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen.
There's two things you never do. Never bet on Alabama covering, because they don't.
They cover a lot.
They didn't cover this past week.
Especially in the SEC, they cover a lot.
Never bet on Alabama to cover.
They're going to cover this week against South Carolina.
And they probably won't. And
minus 26 against a true freshman quarterback.
And they'll win by 25. Because that's just how that works. Never bet on Alabama to cover the line. Never bet on Auburn in general. Because they know. I am convinced that Auburn waits until the Vegas sportsbook odds come in and then they decide their game plan. I'm convinced. Because there's no way. All right, every time I think Auburn's going to do something, they do the opposite.
So this is what I was saying was with our offense being a question mark and everybody losing their mind over it. I feel like this is one of those Gus Malzahn games where regardless of who's on the field, like the backup still may be in, but the foot's going to stay on the gas a little bit, and Auburn's going to find a way to score 55 points. And I don't think they're going to score enough for us not to cover the 35.5.
We'll see. and we'll talk about the game a little bit in the second hour. But we're gonna head to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have more. As we'll jump back to the NFL and get into some more NFL news before we get back into college football and get into that pick'em. As well as Jack count up how many games we're behind in the pick'em challenge. You're watching, listening to Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
We can take this outside. Looking at the stars, staring with my mouth wide. I ain't letting nobody stop me this time.
Darren College, a former NFL Super Bowl champion, signed the most important contract of his life to serve in the Army National Guard.
I've had a lot of military in my family. It's a big part of what my family's done for a long time. I want to go out there and make a difference. I didn't find that working behind a desk, so for me it was a pretty easy decision to make. And then the opportunity to serve my community and serve my country was just icing on the cake.
To learn how to be part of the Army National Guard, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Anderson, and on TV, I play a dad who has it all. But growing up, my real life was very different. My parents taught me that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. That's why they each had life insurance to take care of the future. I got my first policy when I was 18. Now, would your family be okay if something happened to you? If you can buy a latte, you can buy life insurance. It's that affordable. Join me in taking care of our family's futures at lifehappens.org.
A public service message from the nonprofit Life Happens.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And welcome back inside the Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Carter Bird, Aiden Kowalski, Jack Hart joining me in the studio as we detail some things that are going around the NFL. Going back to the NFL, here's a couple of things.
Back to the Jets?
Right back to the Jets. Not only is Sam Darnold out with mono now, but Le'Veon Bell is getting an MRI today on his sore shoulder. Adam Gase seems optimistic, but that's not what you want to hear after your quarterback goes down for a couple of weeks. That Le'Veon Bell has a shoulder problem. He needs an MRI.
So
it's probably going to come back okay, but the gasoline is in the dumpster and somebody has a lighter standing next to it.
You mean a flamethrower?
Well, you don't need much to get some gasoline going.
I know. I'm just I'm telling you that it's all about to go up in flames. The Jets are in such a state of flux that the line on the game has been completely taken offline, and it's not going to be posted for until they probably figure out what's going on with Lev Bell.
Then also on top of that, here is a update. The Bears told Mitchell Trubisky not to talk about the loss to the Packers to the media. So like Mitchell Trubisky's in his third year? Second? Am I right in saying that?
Third year. He started in Monday Night Football against the Vikings in 2017.
He was really bad his first year.
Maybe that's why I don't remember that.
And was a Pro Bowler as an alternate, and then now he's
great,
average,
amazing
at best.
So the Bears definitely had a tough game against the Packers last week. Hopefully trying to turn that around. But you got a third-year quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky, and the team's just saying, hey, don't talk about the loss to the Packers. How do you as a coach try to get Trubisky kind of back into that mental mind game of, we were one of the best teams last year. We got everything we need to succeed. I just got to come through.
You got to win a game. I don't think there's any telling what you could. You can't just tell them, oh, here's a way to get your confidence back. No, the only way you can do it is on the field.
This Bears team is so talented. It has such a good defense. They've got solid running backs in David Montgomery, Mike Davis, and Tyreek Cohen. I don't love the receivers, but the definite weak spot is the quarterback. Just Trubisky's not that good. He hasn't panned out the way that they had hoped, and so I think this year is going to turn into a make it or break it year for Trubisky, where if they go 8-8 and it's pretty much his fault, I think they're drafting a quarterback.
You think they'll drop Trubisky after this year?
I mean, if he doesn't show definite signs of improvement, and if he's the reason why they don't make the playoffs, yeah.
Against his case, he does have to play the next two on the road. I'm not saying it's against tough opponents, but still, you don't really want to be going away, especially if you're trying to get your confidence back. Maybe that is a game because they play the Broncos this week and then the Redskins next.
I mean, if you just look at their schedule, if you look at their division, the Packers are going to be better.
They are.
Because they're healthy. They have the best defense Aaron Rodgers has ever had. And then you have the Vikings, who are very solid.
Their offense looks really good, which has kind of been a sticking point for the past 2 years.
Yeah, they're really solid. They have a great defense. And then the Lions, I don't care what you think about the Lions. The Lions are going to be better than they were last year.
Or so we hope.
I mean, barring another ridiculous collapse in the fourth quarter if they go 0-16, then
but they didn't.
It's the same.
They didn't lose.
It'd be the same as going 8-8.
They didn't lose. Let's point that out there.
That would be I would love it if the Lions figured out a way to get a wild card spot at 0-16.
No, that's too many ties. One tie already made me mad last week. I can't do that.
We had a tie each of the first 2 weeks last year, so
I think
get your hopes up.
16 ties would be enough to get the league to change the overtime rules, and not the Russell Wilson idea where it's just kick field goals until someone misses.
No, that's stupid.
There's a reason he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
The Lions this week play the Chargers, who just lost Hunter Henry for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken kneecap.
It's true.
And
Hunter
they're
Henry.
at home.
Can we talk about the Chargers for a second? And it seems like every year the Chargers are always a decent lock for the playoffs, and depending on who's there, a favorite to make it to the championship. But every single year, whether it's preseason, whether it's offseason, whether it's the beginning of the season, they just get banged up.
Yep.
There's somebody always on their IR.
Derwin James, the biggest impact player on that defense, is hurt.
Gone.
Melvin Gordon's not in the locker room because he's holding out.
Gone.
And Hunter Henry, their far and away best tight end option. Like, not even close. He's hurt. I mean, that's 3 of their top 10 best players are all not going to be playing on Sunday for various reasons.
And that's every year for the Chargers.
Yeah, my fantasy league last year was called the Chargers Injury Reserve List.
Hey, this does open the door for Antonio Gates to come back for year 35 in the NFL.
You know what?
And score like 4 or 5 more touchdowns and further separate himself in all the tight end record books.
I mean, any day now, LT's phone's going to ring. It's just a matter of time.
It's true.
I don't think running back is where they need help. Justin Jackson and Austin Eckler looked really, really good.
Austin Eckler looked really good, but
they both looked good.
Let me tell you something. You bring back Antonio Gates and you bring back LaDainian Tomlinson, and they're definitely going to sell out that 30,000 seat stadium.
Drew Brees.
Yeah,
yes,
just bring it back, everybody.
I feel like it'd be a little more difficult to bring Drew Brees.
You know what? If you even want more nostalgia, go play a game in San Diego.
Sean Merriman, bring him back.
Bring back Sean Merriman.
Bring back the lights out dance.
Oh man, I'm getting nostalgic.
What
How
did that team not win playoff games? That team was good.
The Chargers' vice has always been special teams.
That's true.
There was a season.
First in offense,
First in offense,
defense.
first in defense. They did not make the playoffs.
The 2010 Chargers
because their special teams was that bad.
Tragic story of NFL.
Their special teams made them lose 8 games and miss the playoffs. It was hysterical. They were the best offense and the best defense.
So if we bring back LT, Antonio Gates, and Drew Brees and Sean Merriman, and we go back to San Diego, do we bring back?
Are we running a 2 quarterback system then?
Yes. We'll put Drew Brees in the Wildcat. I don't know.
At 40 years old, you're gonna put Drew Brees in the Wildcat?
How old is Phillip Rivers? He has kids.
He's like 38. Yeah, he has 7 kids, but he's like 38. He's younger than Drew Brees.
So
do you want these men to die on the field?
If we bring all that back, do we go back to the blue, like the dark blue, or do we keep powder blue?
I think you just wear the all whites with the yellow face masks every game. Just do it. It looks great.
I don't like that.
I think the yellow face masks are amazing. I'm so glad they did that.
If they brought back the dark blue helmets a couple times a year, I would like it.
You know, really, the
NFL, I like their uniforms as is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I would like to see the old ones a little bit because it would make me feel like LT is still out there.
You know,
with the blacked out visors.
Oh.
With the NFL 100 season, why didn't they have every team from week 1 wear like their original throwback from their first year?
Because Nike's still in charge, Jared.
I don't care. That would have been so cool.
And the Jets had to go to a almost lime green this year, and they had to unveil that.
Gotham green, actually.
Like, if everybody just wore the throwback. I don't care the Steelers wear their Bumblebee outfits, okay? Like that would have been
over here uniform explaining things to me.
That would have been so cool for the NFL's 100th season. Like, give us some more throwbacks. Look, at least on Thanksgiving, can you let the teams wear throwbacks?
all the old throwbacks were like you didn't even have numbers. You just wore like weird striped shirts.
Okay.
They were long sleeves.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And leather helmets.
Okay.
No, Jared.
Bring back leather helmets. Oh, okay, whatever.
No,
in the age of CTE, let's bring back leather helmets.
Let's bring it back.
You know, I saw in a study, it was interesting when I remember I did a project looking at the effect of helmets and concussions and how they can better do that. And I think I saw a crazy statistic that jumped out at me in that 25% helmets only decrease concussions by 25%.
Well, because back in the day when they wore,
I'm not talking about back in the day. I'm talking about now. If they were to play without helmets,
well, it's because, but I mean,
helmets is the only thing that helmets really are good for. Is that just making sure if your head touches just another
it's
part,
the initial impact that it helps. It doesn't help if there's a double impact, which is where your concussions happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's because when you get the first hit, you're fine, but if you get hit.
Not only that, there's so much force going into it. I mean, a helmet's probably only good to up to 200 pounds.
And a helmet makes you play a little more dangerously because you feel a little more.
Which is what I was gonna say about back in the days of leather helmets, because literally,
I think you could make rugby as a fair example.
You wore a daggum
piece of leather.
Baseball glove on your head.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go lower your head. And try to spear somebody.
Yeah.
And the Raiders secondary would give up 500 yards a game.
Speaking of the Raiders secondary, you have the most annoying player in the history of Hard Knocks for me, Jonathan Abram. Out for the year. Out for the year already.
Goodness gracious.
Love it. I am tired of that. I was tired of that guy after the first episode. He wouldn't shut up. He was blowing people up in a padless practice in shorts. And I was like, this guy is the worst. And then he wouldn't stop singing Old Town Road. It was everything about it.
Still singing in the bullpen.
Just going down Carter's tick list.
He was, and then he thought he was like super funny he pronounced salmon salmon, and it was obnoxious. And he was my far and away least favorite Raider.
We'll be right back with Carter's Hard Knocks review.
Yeah, Carter. I'm going to let you calm down for a second. You need to go get a thing of water or something. And when we come back, we'll have more of the Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to, are you? Kids, work, listening to the radio. You're busy, which is great because busy people can't get prediabetes. Oh my, I read that wrong. They can. Should have worn my glasses. So visit doihaveprediabetes.org and take a short test, because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Want to help pull the plug on cyber terrorists? Or work with satellites and other space technology? How about learning the avionics inside stealth fighters? You can do it, serving part-time in the Air National Guard. In the Air Guard, you'll earn extra cash and money for college while gaining high-tech skills in one of nearly 200 career specialties. Call the Alabama Air National Guard at 1-800-TOGOANG or visit goang.com/AL.
Soon this little baby I'm singing to sleep will start to walk. Before I know it, I'll be dropping her off at school, beaming when she walks up to accept her diploma, or holding back tears as she takes those big steps down the aisle. But before she takes all those steps, she and thousands like her will need you to take yours. Join March for Babies to help make her steps possible. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
Young men just don't seem to listen to the radio anymore. They're too busy with their earpods and TV games.
It's iPods and video games?
Whatever. Point is, young men are probably not listening to me right now, but they will listen to you. So I need you to remind them to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. It's an easy way to keep the door open to important benefits like college loans and government jobs, and it's the law. So please feel free to remind them to go to sss.gov or any post office to register.
I heard that.
Welcome back to the Xtra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM, online at WEGLFM.com, also Eagle Eye TV. It is Carter Bird, Aiden Kowalski, and Jack Hart joining me in the studio. As Carter, you keep moving, move back to your right, for everybody to see your lovely face on the stream.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing you've ever said.
Maybe it's for the better.
He is hard to look at. Look at him.
Did we see?
Aiden's got jokes.
Aiden's got jokes.
AB's got a number now for the Pats. He's number 1.
Yeah. Did you also see that he did not go to practice with his new helmet?
No, so, okay. He's not wearing the old helmet he wore in Pittsburgh. He's not wearing the helmet he wore for the Raiders. He's wearing a third new helmet.
Is it league approved? I assume it is.
I mean, it's a newer version. Like I've seen that helmet before, and it's only been around for like 4 or 5 years. So I would assume that if it has to be at least 10 years, within 10 years of it being produced, then yeah, I would assume it's fine.
So Jack, we did get an update on how many games back we are of the Auburn Plainsmen, as their new paper came out today. Make sure you pick that up for free. Around campus. We're 1 game back of them. So, hey, guys.
Hey, there we go.
We're in it. So, as a team, all right, huddle up. All right, as a team.
Just get closer to the camera.
As a team, all right, we got to come together in this week of Pick'em. All right, we're making our way back, okay? And we got to do a little bit of a better job picking these games.
Are you talking to yourself mainly there?
Yes, I actually am talking to myself, actually, because I did. Last week was the first week, and by last week I mean our 10-game pick'em that we do each week. Last week was the first week in 2 years I was even at 500 or lower.
Yeah, because we don't pick the spread, and that's easy.
Look, I'm not going to put up with you on this right now, okay? Right now, we're going to have about 5 minutes. Let's just talk about a few tidbits that's going around in college football before we get into Pick'em in the top of the next hour. So let's see a couple of things.
Joe Burrow.
A couple of things going around. One thing to note: Woody Barrett is making his comeback to Auburn.
Revenge game,
maybe. No, is he even cleared to play? Do we know yet?
Was he banged up?
We did not know if he would
it,
play.
If it doesn't really matter because they're going to lose by 45. So
I
if
guess
he doesn't
so.
play, they're going to lose by 48.
So yeah,
They're really, really bad.
They
really
are.
bad.
So Woody Barrett also breaking or coming back and trying to do something against Auburn, I guess. Other things, Chip Kelly and UCLA are just not having a good time right now.
Well, yeah, because Chip Kelly's a daggum fool out there.
Everybody thought he was going to bring back the Oregon offense, right, to UCLA. And UCLA is going to be this, Pac-12 powerhouse in the next couple of years, give or take. And it just seems like it ain't working out.
I mean, I remember the buzz the day he was hired because I was at College Game Day for the Iron Bowl, and I mean, it was crazy. It was like, wow. It was like Chip Kelly is from the Eagles is going to UCLA, and it's fallen so flat on its face that it's funny how poorly Chip Kelly has done with all the hype that was built up around it.
I wish the report of him going to Florida had been true. That would have been the dream.
Not only that, but let's stick it in California. So California has recently passed a bill that allows, or no, let me say it this way: colleges are not allowed to take away scholarships from players who profit off of their likeness.
Well, not now in 2023.
Yeah, I just said they passed a bill. Yes, not now. It goes into effect 2023. I'm not sure the governor signed it yet. It's supposed to be signed sometime in September. But pretty much starting this September, the 2023 is going to be a showdown between the state of California and probably what's going to be other states who start jumping in the NCAA.
It's just California right now?
It's just California.
Nothing will change.
So
yeah, not much will change.
The NCAA is going to have 5 years to implement their own plan for this.
Yes.
Otherwise,
because
California schools are going to have such an unreal advantage that it's going to ruin everything.
And so that's the thought process. The NCAA told California, hey, if you do this, that is a recruiting advantage that you have. And which I think we all four probably agree that is a recruiting advantage.
Absolutely.
But what's going to happen first?
Maybe Chip Kelly can win some games.
Maybe he could. But
Chip Kelly's not going to be there in 5 years.
But what's going to happen first in that scenario? Either California backs down or the law is somehow thrown out, or the schools start pressuring their own legislatures that pass laws that say, hey, or yes, we want to be able to let our students profit off of their likeness, which I don't think they really have to go through the state to do that.
Well, we all know who wears the pants in this state, and it's not Montgomery.
Pretty much what's going to happen first, either California backs off with laws null, or other states start jumping in to make sure that their teams stay competitive, because honestly, that's where all the money's at.
They can try. It's not going to happen.
It wouldn't shock me if Alabama was one of the first ones after this to jump in. Because
why?
Because Nick Saban. Because Nick Saban's going to
the states he
doesn't need more recruiting tactics to try and get new recruits.
But he'll take
play
them.
for Alabama.
Yeah, he'll take them.
My point is,
so you're saying that right now he's doing pretty well at pulling guys out of California, and if we don't do anything as a state, and this goes through at 2023, all of a sudden he's going to lose out on those guys from California, where all he has to do is pressure the state to be like, hey, let's pass our own law. Passes that, then nothing changes, and he can still dominate. Yes, I know he dominates in recruiting as is, but this would give him the opportunity to be at the same level or better, which he's going to take because the guy wants to win.
And not only that, think about Texas, big recruiting hotbed. Florida is probably Florida's my number one to pass this thing first, because I think that's a big recruiting hotbed, and they're going to try to pull all these guys from the South down to Florida. You see what I'm saying?
It's going to be probably in order: Florida, Texas, Alabama, then Louisiana.
Louisiana's going to be a big one. Somewhere
because
somewhere in the East
LSU's
Coast,
going to have to implement something, force something in the state so they don't lose players. They kind of do already.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that somewhere up north, either Michigan or Ohio is going to try to do something like that as well with Ohio State there. But yeah, this could be. Remember,
it's going to start
moment.
to fall like dominoes.
Yes, remember this moment, because that law passing could be the beginning of the end of us finally getting an NCAA football game back. I just want it back. That's all I want in this situation.
The door's been opened for that.
Yes, but that's a whole other story. But that being said,
EA wants to make it.
And so here's the thing about this bill, right?
It would get the NCAA out of the way so the EA could actually make it.
But for right now, the NCAA said, if you go through with this, your teams will not be allowed to compete in playoffs. So that would mean college football playoffs, no
USC, no UCLA. That's it, basically, in terms of
football.
Playoffs.
But think about March Madness.
San Diego State.
No Pac-12 team in March Madness.
Wow.
No Pac-12 team.
Whoa. Hang on.
I think
it would just be
that's a self-imposed restriction.
It'd just be 2 of the Pac-12.
Okay.
It'd be no 12
They would
seed
go
at
back to
Arizona
the Pac-10
okay, but
without USC and UCLA.
Okay, but think about softball. There's a lot of good Pac-12 teams in softball. They would not be able to go. Baseball, not able to go.
The water polo world would be rocked.
It will be. Just think about the ramifications.
The women's soccer would get rocked because all those California schools are really good.
So what I'm getting at is
Stanford would be the third one.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be 3 of the Pac-12 wouldn't be eligible to go.
We always talk about these doomsday scenarios of what happens.
This is why the Power 5 is about to split from the NCAA. It's gonna happen. This
could be the triggering moment that
because the NCAA is gonna have to implement something quickly, or if they dig their heels in, Power 5 is gonna say see ya, and they're gonna be like, we're gonna go do our own thing, and then you can have the group of 5.
What's the 6 conference, Jack?
Tulane ran out with a flag that said Power 6 on it, so citation needed.
The American.
What is Tulane the American?
The American, yes, they are. The American calls themselves a Power 6 conference, which is funny,
hilarious.
Although they do have a pretty good shot this weekend to build on their argument. They are 5-0 in their last 5 against the Pac-12 with it. Again, a chance to build on that.
Yeah, Hawaii's about to be 3-0. So what against the Pac-12? So,
Jared, I'm glad you're sitting down because I see a Mel Kiper ESPN Plus article about the draft with Joe Burrow as the thumbnail. So maybe you can read that during the break.
We're coming back with that after the break. Top of the hour, my man Joe Burrow. All right, we're gonna head to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back. Joe Burrow will be my hero. Here on the Xtra Point.
I hate this right now. I hate that you are using this as a bumper right now.
As we come back,
worst.
As we come back with the Xtra Point on the other side of the break, you're watching and listening on WGL. Yes, you are on 91.1 FM or online at WGLFM.com.
Young men just don't seem to listen to the radio anymore. They're too busy with their earpods and TV games.
It's iPods and video games?
Whatever. Point is, young men are probably not listening to me right now, but they will listen to you. So I need you to remind them to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. It's an easy way to keep the door open to important benefits like college loans and government jobs. And it's the law. So please feel free to remind them to go to sss.gov or any post office to register.
I heard that.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Grades, work, sports, bikinis. 18-year-old guys have a lot on their minds. Accidentally breaking the law probably isn't one of them. Yet that's exactly what young men will be doing if they fail to register with Selective Service. So if you know a guy turning 18, do him a favor. Remind him. Fortunately, it'll only take him a few minutes because that's all it takes to register at sss.gov. Then he can get back to his distractions. Homework. sss.gov. Register. It's the law.
The following is a production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a home run. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
The Tigers are SEC Tournament champions.
game
There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back.
lives. Welcome back inside the studio here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. Joining me in the studio is Aiden Kowalski and Jack Hart, as Carter will sit over there and fix his mic until...
oh, buddy.
No, your mic is not on right now. You're going to sit there and you're going to work on it until it's fixed. So Carter is now in the timeout zone. So, no, shut up. Jack and Aiden, let's talk about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, let's do it, Jared.
Let's talk to Joe Burrow as we'll put a timer on, see how fast Carter can get this
I
done.
thought you'd put a timer so you don't spend the whole hour talking about Joe Burrow.
Oh no, I will shut the show down and talk about Joe Burrow for a whole hour if I could, because I was ridiculed, I was made fun of for my overreaction take on Monday when I said that Joe Burrow would be going or should be going as the number 1 overall quarterback in the draft by the time this season ends. Are we good, Carter? I don't know. Are we good? Shake your head yes. Welcome back, Carter. You're in the studio. What's up?
It's not my fault the screw on this mic is too short and it keeps falling out.
All right, so let's get back to the nitty-gritty. I was
the nitty-gritty.
I was ridiculed. I was made fun of.
Where have you seen in this article that he is the number 1 quarterback off the board? That's a lie.
All I'm saying is...
Oh, gosh. I didn't like the way you said that.
All I'm saying is, Carter, is that by the time this season ends, Joe Burrow is going to be one of the best prospects in the NFL draft.
That is not what
and
you
he
said.
should be... Did you let me finish?
Go
That's
ahead.
what I thought.
Go ahead.
And he should be drafted number 1 overall in the draft because he has the size. He's a nice prototypical quarterback in the NFL that they love. A lot taller and a lot bigger than Kyler Murray is. I know we have this kind of affinity for these small guys running around, right? Like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray and Tua Tagovailoa, right? But he's a bigger quarterback. He's a prototype quarterback, has a strong arm. He's really coming along in that system with his 9 touchdowns. He only had 16 last year. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 9-1 this year already. He played great against Texas. I know Texas has the Big 12 defense. I know the Big 12 isn't that good at defense in general, but I think he has the tools to be a great quarterback. And as you said before the break, what Jack said and how we kind of talked about during the break, Kuiper McShay, they're keying in on him. So that means watch out. He's coming. And when Joe Burrow beats Alabama later in the year, don't say nothing. The man is here. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. You are knee-jerk overreacting.
Nope.
Yes, you
Not
are.
at all.
Make the guy play in the SEC defense before we crown him the number 1 pick in the draft.
Okay, well, he's in that last year.
What?
And he's going to do it this year.
He wasn't that good last year.
He wasn't, but it's not like he did not play an SEC defense last year.
No.
And he's going to do that this year.
You are basing this off his ridiculous play through 2 weeks. Yes.
No,
yes,
I'm basing it off of the progression that he's made from year 1 with LSU, where he did show some good signs, although he did have bad games. Did Joe Burrow have bad games last year? Absolutely. But he also had signs of good games, of he could be that prototype quarterback in the NFL. He showed the signs. Whether for all 4 quarters, probably not. I mean, heck, even Auburn hasn't played a full 4 quarters of good football yet in 2 games. Okay? But Joe Burrow has made that transition. He's made that jump. And Joe Burrow is the best quarterback LSU has had since Jamarcus Russell. Now, when we go to NFL, that ain't saying much. Okay? Because we know Jamarcus Russell ended for the Raiders.
Hey, he can throw a football from his knees 80 yards out the back of the end zone out of the stadium.
He can. But Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks LSU's ever had. He's running one of the best offenses LSU's seen in the last, I guess, 10 to 15 years. Les Miles is not even at LSU anymore because he could not find a quarterback like Joe Burrow. If Les Miles found Joe Burrow years ago when he needed him most, if he could find that Joe Burrow quarterback, he would still be at LSU.
Ed O wouldn't have found Joe Burrow if it wasn't for the transfer portal.
Hey, transfer portal.
I think it's just a different era that we're talking about here.
Okay, sure, but also nobody cares.
Because okay, when Joe Burrow leaves, are you telling me Coach O's got the heir apparent behind him? No.
Probably not. Not that I know of for right now.
All right, hey, to go off your Joe Burrow's the number 1 quarterback in the draft. An article
by the end of the season.
In an article that was posted at 6 a.m., the only quarterback candidates that they have for the potential number 1 overall pick are Tua,
yeah,
Justin Herbert,
yeah.
And then if you scroll way down to the wild cards section, Jacob Eason and Jake Fromm.
I'm like, where's Jake Fromm at? Usually Jake Fromm's like 3rd on that list of like quarterbacks.
You know who is on the list? Derek Brown.
That's good. I think Auburn's projected to have 2 guys go in the first round.
Coe's supposed to go in late first, and then some people have Tega going in the first round, which Tega's got to get himself healthy before he can.
Well, I'll hold my chips on that one, but we'll see.
Tega has the most potential.
He does.
Of any of the 3.
He does.
Because he is athletically completely everything that you want in a left tackle, and he's just raw. I mean, he's only played football for 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
You can mold him. At least he could definitely be a steal late in the draft if he does fall that far. You can mold him if you have a good.
He's gonna be gone by the end of the 2nd round.
You think so? Even if he just completely stinks it up this year.
I mean, he hasn't snuck it up this year, really. I mean, he's been a little banged up. The tackles are the strength of this bad Auburn offensive line. It's the interior that struggles, specifically the center. The center is the weak spot. The center, we can't double any player up the middle because our center can't. He can't do it.
I mean, we did not get a push against Tulane. That is very obvious. I think most people noticed that. That Tulane looked like they had I guess they are D1. They looked like they had an SEC defensive line against Auburn when Auburn could not run the ball in the first half. But with that being said, where does the conversation go? Where do we start at?
Joe Burrow.
Let's go back to Joe Burrow
right quick.
Number 3 on ESPN's Heisman Watch, because of course he is.
He should be. He should be. Let's be very clear there.
Yeah.
He should be number 1 right now. Through 2 weeks. Nobody has had better performances through 2 weeks.
What about Jalen?
He hasn't played anybody.
I mean, fair, yes.
Joe Burrow went on the road to Texas, who we're going to see Jalen do.
Yeah.
We're going to see him have to play Texas. It's not going to be on the road. It's going to be at the Cotton Bowl. But Joe Burrow went on the road and shredded what's supposed to be one of the best defenses in the Big 12. And, he literally put the whole team on his back and was just like, we're going to win this behind my arm. I mean, that's more impressive than anything that's happened in the college football season is him throwing for 471 yards on Saturday. Yeah, and you cannot change my mind on that.
Okay.
I'll agree with you there, but I'm not here. He ain't the first quarterback on the board. Chill out a minute.
Well, let me once again put that. I can't wait to get the whiteboard in here so I can put this phrase on here. Joe Burrow will be the number 1 quarterback, or should be the number 1 quarterback taken in the draft by the end of the year. Make sure everybody caught that.
He has 3 really good defenses he has to see between now and then. In LSU, Auburn, and Florida. Let's see how he navigates those 3. If he can give you 300 yards a game and 2.5 touchdowns in those 3 games consistently, then I might jump on board.
Okay.
But until he shows me,
I will make sure that you have room on board.
If he can show me that, until he shows me that he can go against the best defenses in the SEC and actually produce, I'm not on this train.
Okay. I'll save a seat for you though. You can sit in the back, but I'll save a seat for you. Okay.
Fair enough.
Jack, are we almost ready for Pick'em?
I'm ready.
Can you give us a preview?
I'm ready.
Can you give us a preview of the games that we are going to pick?
Yes. From top to bottom in no particular order. Kansas State traveling to Starkville against the Bulldogs. Wazoo playing Houston in the Advocare Texas kickoff game, week 3. College game day, Hawkeyes traveling to Ames, take on the Cyclones, Iowa State. Battle of Pennsylvania, Pitt at Penn State. ACC showdown, Clemson at Syracuse. Out west, we have USC traveling to Provo to take on BYU. Almost game day, Stanford at UCF. Why? Arizona at Texas Tech. And TCU at Purdue, along with our beloved Auburn Tigers taking on Kent State.
By the way, update on Auburn's line. It is now at 36, so ticked up 1.
I have, but yeah.
Whatever it was. All right, so
I'm
what
not worried.
What we're going to do is, you really think Auburn's going to cover 36 points?
Texas Tech's in Tucson. Yeah. I apologize.
That's okay. You really think Auburn's going to cover 36 points?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to it in text. Don't worry.
Okay. Jack, what is the current standings for us in here?
Jared, you are 12-8 after going 4-6 last week.
Don't bring that up.
Carter, you are 15.
You asked.
Carter, you are 15-5 with the lead. Aiden, you are right behind him, 14-6, and I am with Jared somehow after Jared's poor performance last week.
Tied 5-5 first week.
12-8. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how I caught up.
Okay, so I'm only 3 games back. That's fine. I can make that up. Easy. Ready? Because we're going to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going straight 0-100 on these picks, trying to get back into it, and we're going to try to beat the Plainsmen. So when we come back, college football for the next 45 minutes. Buckle in. Okay, it's going to be a fun one. You're watching Listening Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to, are you? Kids, work, listening to the radio. You're busy, which is great because busy people can't get prediabetes. Oh my, I read that wrong. They can. Should have worn my glasses. So visit doihaveprediabetes.org and take a short test, because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Want to help pull the plug on cyber terrorists? Or work with satellites and other space technology? How about learning the avionics inside stealth fighters? You can do it, serving part-time in the Air National Guard. In the Air Guard, you'll earn extra cash and money for college while gaining high-tech skills in one of nearly 200 career specialties. Call the Alabama Air National Guard at 1-800-TOGOANG or visit goang.com/AL.
Soon this little baby I'm singing to sleep will start to walk. Before I know it, I'll be dropping her off at school, beaming when she walks up to accept her diploma, or holding back tears as she takes those big steps down the aisle. But before she takes all those steps, she and thousands like her will need you to take yours. Join March for Babies to help make her steps possible. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
Young men just don't seem to listen to the radio anymore. They're too busy with their earpods and TV games.
It's iPods and video games?
Whatever. Point is, young men are probably not listening to me right now, but they will listen to you. So I need you to remind them to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. It's an easy way to keep the door open to important benefits like college loans and government jobs. And it's the law. So please feel free to remind them to go to sss.gov or any post office to register.
I heard that.
Who in here trying to start a riot? Who in here trying to start a riot?
And welcome back inside the Extra Point, getting ready for the Pick'em Challenge here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Joining me in the studio, Carter Bird, Aiden Kowalski, and Jack Hart. Gonna be a fun one, guys. Jack, as we get ready to pick, I'm going to give you the order that we're going in so you're ready on your computer. We are going to go Aiden first, then we'll jump over to Carter before going to myself, and Jack will be picking last. Okay, sound good for everybody?
Starting with Aiden.
Pretty much going to go in that order.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Not like the zigzag we did last time. What was it?
Yeah, that was.
It was
that
like
was confusing.
Carter, Jared, me, then Jack. I mean, I get
Something
it.
like
It's a
that.
fair order.
Hey, I am ready. I am ready for this week.
Forewarning. This week does suck. Let's be honest.
Bad week.
It's a bad week. I mean,
But I'm ready for it.
Okay.
you ready?
I've got some takes here.
You got some takes.
I've got some
All right.
takes.
You heard him. He got some takes. So I guess with that being said, let's start it off. Jack, what is the first game on the docket?
Kansas State at Mississippi State.
Aiden, your first one up.
Both teams coming into an 11 o'clock matchup. You know, first one of the day. Both 2-0, but nothing to really, call home to mom about. I'm gonna go with Kansas State coming in to Mississippi and getting the dub.
Fair enough. I agree. I think K-State, in their first year without Bill Snyder in a long time, is going to come in. The offense is looking great. And they're going to play a Mississippi State team that hasn't really been tested. And Tommy Stevens is a little banged up. I love K-State in this one.
I can't find this game anywhere. I don't know.
Go to the SEC tab.
Well, first of all, be quiet. There it is. So Mississippi State 7.5 point favorite. You
Seven now. It just dropped.
It just dropped. I just refreshed
dropped.
this
They
page.
heard Carter's analysis and changed it.
I just refreshed it. So Mississippi State 7-point favorite over Kansas State. One thing you guys both already hit on: Kansas State does look pretty good right now. I mean, I know they played Bowling Green, but Mississippi State has also struggled against some guys they shouldn't have struggled to. So 11 o'clock game, which I mean, nobody likes 11 o'clock games. Am I right, Nick Saban?
He's not listening.
Yeah.
Gus loves them.
Gus loves them. So
he
so
loves
get ready.
that extra 6 hours
We
to
need it.
prepare.
So get ready. I'll take Kansas State as well against Mississippi State.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Mississippi State yet to kind of get an accurate, gauge on them. They're kind of that something's not right there. Jack,
I like Mississippi State's defense, what I've seen from them. I had them in my Weagle top 25 for the past 2 weeks at the very back end of the list. So I like the defense to take on this Big 12 offense and squeak out a win like they did last year. I'll take Mississippi State.
all right. Next game up, Jack.
Advocare, Texas Kickoff Classic. Washington State heading to Houston to play UH in NRG Stadium or Reliance Stadium. I can never keep track.
And the
NRG.
And the nightcap game.
Whatever
it is, it's a 20 seed going up against a 1-1 Houston team who hasn't really shown much this season, which is why I'm going to
time out. A 20 seed?
Washington
20th
State.
overall or 20th.
Yes.
20th ranked seed. My bad.
You got it.
We'll allow it.
I got it.
Finish your analysis.
my analysis, as it was cut short, I'm going with Washington State.
All right, so Washington State's an 8.5-point favorite in this game, and they're going to win this game by 21 at least. Houston has maybe the worst defense in the country.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's so bad. This game's a blowout, and it's not Washington State by a million.
They beat Prairie View A&M 37-17.
Yeah.
Give me Washington State all day.
Yeah, that game wasn't on the pick-em, but then our dear friends in the print media thought it was going to be intriguing. So I'll take Wazoo
Don't know why.
in a track meet.
Jack, what's up next?
Oh, Jared, it's the black hole. College game day.
Ames, Iowa. Let me set it up. Everybody hold on.
Hold on.
Here's the thing about college football. There's one thing you got to know about college football. There is a black hole in the middle of the United States. Its name is Ames, Iowa. Because let me tell you something, Jack. You don't walk in Ames, Iowa, and think you can win yourself a football game. Not even Iowa State. The black hole of college football is here. Iowa State. Aiden, you are up first.
No one's going to win. The game's canceled. No, I'm just kidding.
Hurricane, tornado?
Tornado just comes in. Both teams just fall in, and just no one even knows the game's televised. Now, I'm going to go with Iowa in this one. I do think your example of this black hole is not going to exist this week. Iowa will come in to Jack Trice Stadium and get the win.
You know, you got to love the team that gets overlooked after struggling in week 1 at home and game day for the first time ever in a rivalry game. Give me Iowa State all day.
I like the enthusiasm, Carter. Here is my problem. If Iowa State was playing any other team, I would like it. But they are playing grinded out Iowa. Iowa team that does not make a lot of mistakes. Iowa will beat you 7-3. Iowa will beat you 50-0. It depends on how they feel that day.
Wait, no. Iowa doesn't score 50 points in games, especially not rivalry games.
Oh, they scored 36 and 30 the last 2 weeks. They can easily do it if they want to. It depends on how they feel. Now, in this game, it's going to be more grinded out.
Matt Campbell will not let that happen.
Now, whether that's their choice.
Give me Iowa in this rivalry game. It'll be a lot closer. There'll be a lot of heart attacks happening in Jack Trice, but Iowa's going to pull it out. I think overall they've got the better athletes, and Iowa State's kind of in a flux right now.
Yeah, I find it very hard to overlook the Week 1 performance by Iowa State, and I think this game will be low scoring, and that gives the edge to Iowa in my book. So I'll take the Hawkeyes on the road.
What is the next game coming up?
Boy.
It is time for Carter to go in, because it is
boy.
the Pitt Panthers versus the Nittany Lions of Penn State in College Park.
Carter, I'm not even going to really give much of an analysis here. I'll just kind of let you take care of that, but I'm definitely going with Penn State. Tell me why.
Penn State by a trillion. Pitt is one of the worst teams in the ACC by far. Last year, they won their division because they could run the football. They were like 115th in the country in passing offense. This year, they can't run the ball either. They are terrible. They are trash. Penn State, also, James Franklin loves to cover the spread, 17.5. He loves to embarrass Pitt. They're going to hang 50-something, and Pitt might score 7. It's not going to be close. They're going to win by 40.
Definitely going to take Penn State in this game. 17.5-point spread. Although Pittsburgh, weird team that
not this year.
They will easily go 4-8, but still beat a top 15 team somewhere in their schedule.
They only play Clemson in the top 15.
I'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm gonna take Penn State in this one. Yeah, Pittsburgh not looking too hot, but they do have Pittsburgh alumni Nathan Peterman cheering them on, at least from the sideline, while he's on IR for the Raiders.
Yeah, on the sideline.
Jack, what's up next?
I'll take Penn State. Next up is, speaking of Clemsoning, it's Clemson. traveling to Syracuse, New York, the Carrier Dome, to take on the Syracuse Orange.
I've liked Clemson so far this season. I'm going to like them again here this week. I don't really think they have too many downfalls to really come by unless injuries strike them in this game, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going with Clemson.
I mean, Clemson's going 13-0 into the playoffs, so
They got to play Pitt.
Syracuse.
I'm just saying.
Syracuse is going to play them tough, tougher than the spread. The spread's a ridiculous 28 points when Syracuse has hung with them twice, beaten them once the past 2 years.
Yeah, they have.
And Syracuse is coming off a loss. I think that's an overinflated line, but Clemson's still going to win.
Definitely going to take Clemson in this one. Syracuse just has not looked good. They didn't look great against Liberty, even though it was on the road and that was a season opener. And then we're not even going to talk about how Maryland wiped them off the face of the United States in the last game. So definitely going to go with Clemson in this game. And honestly, I think Clemson will cover that spread.
You know what? Clemson rhymes with win. Syracuse rhymes with lose. But nothing rhymes with orange. Records be war, damn Eagle. I will take Syracuse with the upset in the Carrier Dome. Lock it in.
Jack, that was awesome.
Why?
Jack.
They're having a big bounce-back game after getting wiped off the face of the earth by Maryland.
Jack.
They've done it before. Trevor Lawrence might go out of this game with an injury. What's going to happen to Clemson then? I will take Syracuse. I want to see them storming the field in the Carrier Dome on Saturday.
Jack, no. Why? They could play Danny Etling at quarterback at Clemson and beat this team by 20.
What's wrong with Danny Etling?
They could.
Danny Etling's
Nathan Peterman would have been the better joke.
Nathan Peterman was a solid college quarterback. But, okay, what I'm saying here is
Woody Bear.
Clemson has a different class of athlete on that field. And we're trying to win a pick'em here, and you're sabotaging us.
I'm in the basement. Clemson has had a different class of athletes for the past 2 years, and they've both been one-score games.
They really haven't had that much of a different class of athlete. They're just now getting to a level that they're recruiting.
But didn't Clemson lose their whole defensive line to the draft?
It doesn't matter when you've got the best player in college football.
I'm just saying it's a repeat of the past 2 years. I don't see why it couldn't happen again.
The man has a right to pick whoever he wants.
He does, even when he's terribly and hopelessly wrong.
Carter, though, obviously broken after that news. So we're going to head to a quick commercial break and give him some time to chill out again. Carter just had a kind of a rough day. I'll be rougher next Tuesday. You're watching and listening to Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV.
Young men just don't seem to listen to the radio anymore. They're too busy with their earpods and TV games.
It's iPods and video games?
Whatever. Point is, young men are probably not listening to me right now, but they will listen to you. So I need you to remind them to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. It's an easy way to keep the door open to important benefits like college loans and government jobs, and it's the law. So please feel free to remind them to go to sss.gov or any post office to register.
I heard that.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids, healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Grace, Work, sports, bikinis. 18-year-old guys have a lot on their minds. Accidentally breaking the law probably isn't one of them. Yet that's exactly what young men will be doing if they fail to register with Selective Service. So if you know a guy turning 18, do him a favor. Remind him. Fortunately, it'll only take him a few minutes because that's all it takes to register at sss.gov. Then he can get back to his distractions. Homework. sss.gov. Register. It's the law.
Hopefully Carter's cooled off by now. Welcome back to Xtra Point here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Jared Dill joined by Carter Bird, Aiden Kowalski, Jack Hart. 5 down, 5 to go in the pick'em. Jack, let's get it rolling again. Who's the next game?
It's a showdown out west. USC Trojans traveling to Provo, Utah, take on the BYU Cougars.
Aiden, you're up
BYU
first.
coming off that big win at Tennessee.
And I learned my lesson from last week not to doubt this team. And whether I should take that into this week, that's the big question. But I will. I'm actually taking BYU in this game over USC.
Yeah, so at some point, the gauntlet of having to play Power 5 teams for BYU has to catch up with them. I know USC's playing a true freshman quarterback. He is a true freshman quarterback that just lit up Stanford last week. And BYU, if you watch them play Utah, might have the slowest pass rush I've ever seen in my life. So the theory that, when you get pressure on the true freshman quarterback, he's going to struggle. They can't get pressure on him. I do not like that it's at BYU, and I do think that BYU sophomore quarterback, babyface kid, is a gunslinger. But I think USC wins this behind the true freshman quarterback, but I think it's close.
USC without a doubt. I have no doubt in my mind. USC walks in and probably splatters BYU across the field.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say.
They gonna need some Jesus when USC's done with them.
I was really confused by this game. I didn't know who to pick because BYU coming off that pretty marginally shocking win against Tennessee, and then USC, who I expected to just roll over against Stanford last Saturday night. Heck, I went to bed. I wasn't going to watch that. I wake up the next morning, 45-20 USC wins. That complicated things for me, but
Kyle Slovis threw it around the yard in the second half.
But yeah, Carter took the words right out of my mouth. It's going to come down to whether I think USC is just going to carve up the BYU secondary without that pass rush being there. So I'll take the Trojans as the road team.
Up next,
almost game day, Orlando, Florida, Stanford, UCF.
This may be the toughest game because is it not?
No, it's not. No, it's not even close.
What's the toughest game?
Well, no, I'm just saying this game's not going to be close.
You don't think so?
No.
All right.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay. But Aiden first.
Yeah, I know.
UCF. Tell me why, Carter.
His analysis is now just, Carter, tell me why I'm picking this.
Do the people want to hear me talk?
I don't want to hear you talk. Carter, go.
Central Florida's going to win this. Jeez. It's a disaster scenario for Stanford going into it. Stanford coming off a loss. Granted, the replacement quarterback played well. Might be getting the starter back. But traveling really far east is a disaster for Stanford. Central Florida's going to be charged up for this game. This is something that they're going to have to... For Central Florida, it's a comparison game. Because they have to win this game, and they have to win it convincingly. So at the end of the year, when they're sitting there undefeated, they can be like, oh, we have more of a claim to getting in the college football playoff than one-loss Oregon or one-loss Washington. Because look at how we outscored Stanford, and look at how we outscored them by more than those teams. So this game means so much to Central Florida. Central Florida wins by 17. At least.
Yeah, it does mean a lot, but I think at the end of the day, it's not going to mean a lot to the voters. Mostly because
I know, but to Central Florida, it means this game means everything. This is their playoff game before the playoffs.
To have Stanford be your game that you stake your playoff on, Just seems kind of sad.
I mean, yeah, it's sad, but it's Central Florida.
I mean, it's
so.
Central Florida because they won't do the 2-1 with Florida because they say it's unfair because they're equals, even though they're not. Even though Florida's the most overrated team in the country. Hey,
I took him off the pick 'em, but he still brought him back in.
Central Florida plays Pitt next week when they're just going to blow them out.
Oh, UCF better not be top 15. You better watch out. Do they go to Pitt?
Wait, they do.
Oh,
they go to Pitt.
Is that game day? Is that game day?
If Central Florida wins, Central Florida could be 15.
Oh, no.
Turn the bus around on the way to Athens. Send it to Pittsburgh.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I'm going to take, you know what? No, I want next week to happen. Give me UCF just so I can pick Pitt next week. Jack.
Yeah, this game was further complicated by that bizarre Stanford USC game last week. If Stanford had won that game, I'd probably take the Cardinal on the road, but they really looked bad against a not that great USC defense. So I'll take UCF because UCF really wants to win this game, and they're also really going to want to run up the score, and I don't think Stanford's going to be able to keep pace with that.
Stanford's going to get worn out because Central Florida is going to spread them out, and they're so deep at receiver. They're just going to run go route, go route, go route.
I can
fresh
snap
bodies and wear this Stanford defense out. And it's going to show in the second half when Central Florida runs away with it.
I literally think the line moved while we were talking for Central Florida.
They're listening.
That's twice now. The line has moved in the favor of what I've said.
It went.
Right
I think
after
it went toward UCF. So somebody's listening.
Or Carter makes the books. Either one.
Or Carter.
It's Carter's bookie.
I'm a Vegas odds maker over here.
Here at Auburn in a student radio station talk show.
Next game.
To the desert with the Red Raiders riding over to Tucson, Arizona to play the Wildcats.
You know, Arizona, they lost against Hawaii, and then they didn't really bounce back against Northern Arizona. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech in this one.
I mean, I'm taking Texas Tech because literally no part of me believes in Kevin Sumlin. He's trying to take the most dynamic running quarterback in the country and turn him into a pocket passer, and it doesn't work. It didn't work last year. It's not going to work this year. Texas Tech's going to win this one, and just purely because Kevin Sumlin's a bad coach.
What time is this game?
It is 9:30 Central Time. It's the Pac-12 after dark game.
Yeah,
even though it's the Pac-12 and Big 12.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. What's going on with I thought Kevin Sumlin would I don't know, inject something into this offense at least, but
because he's trying to turn Khalil Tate into Johnny Manziel, and that doesn't work. Khalil Tate can't throw like Johnny Manziel, but he's trying to make him throw like Johnny Manziel.
The fact that they're playing a Big 12 Texas Tech team, shootout, bound to happen, right? Because Big 12 offenses are always good. And the fact that Arizona gave up 41 to Northern Arizona leads me to believe that Texas Tech is about to hang 100 on them. So, yeah, give me Texas Tech.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know Northern Arizona had a football team until last week.
I didn't know till now, until I looked at it. So,
oh, my gosh. There was 106 points scored in that game. That's absurd. Oh, my gosh. This is going to be
look at the ESPN article from that game. Arizona bounces back with a 65-41 rout over Northern Arizona. That ain't a rout.
When your opponent scores 41, what classifies as a rout?
I think you've got to score 80 in order for it to be considered a rout.
Look at this. Arizona was leading 51-13 going into half.
What happened?
They fell apart.
Did they Freaky Friday switch teams?
they fell apart.
Hey, it's like when you're in NCAA 14 and you're playing with one team on freshmen, and then you switch sides at halftime to see if you can come all the way back with the worst team. That's what happened right here.
I mean, they scored 4 touchdowns in the second half. Arizona only scored 2. One of them was a 47-yard run. That just
Arizona's defense is trash, and their offense is trash because Kevin Sumlin doesn't know what he's doing.
So, I don't know.
It's just Texas Tech defense might be just as trash, so whether they can have a shootout, but Texas Tech is winning this game.
Jack, are you picking Texas Tech?
Yes. Okay. And I cannot believe the line is 2.5. How?
Trap line. Trap line.
The over-under 77, and the line is 2.5. I'll take the Red Raiders. I think they're a sneaky team in the Big 12. I think they might make a little bit of noise, maybe upset somebody. Who knows?
Coach.
Wow. And speaking of Pac-12 After Dark, that's only the second to last game that kicks off on Saturday. Montana.
Oregon goes to hang 70 on Montana for the second week.
Carter and I talked before the show. The Grizzlies of Montana are heading to Eugene to lose to Oregon.
By 1 million, because Oregon knows they have to be impressive. Last week, they were 24-point favorites. I think we were playing Nevada. Nevada's coming off an emotional win. Nevada was winning with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and then like that, Oregon hung 62 by the time there was 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yo, that's scary, bro.
I was about to say that.
77-6. My word.
I think it was 6-3. No, it was 6-0 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and then Oregon flipped a switch and buried them.
All right, what's up next?
TCU Purdue.
This is going to be the toughest game to pick on my book. This is really close. I mean, you have.
It's because one team's not ranked.
Both of the teams aren't ranked.
Both of the teams.
There are no ranked teams.
There are no ranked
matchups.
I was saying it's hard for them to pick because that one team is ranked.
No.
You can't pick the
my
ranked
justification, TCU coming.
Go ahead.
Hurts, man.
You got it.
TCU, after coming off of a win against Cal 10-7, it's not a high-powered offense. My point being, Purdue, I think they're going to take this one just because of their offensive talent. I think their defense can then take them through the rest of the game against this TCU team. And so that's why I'm going with Purdue.
What time is it? Oh, I found it.
So, in a game that I think could be pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it's on the Big Ten Network. Nasty.
Jared, will you be quiet?
TCU is coming off a bye, but love me some Jeff Brom. Love me some Rondale Moore. Love me the home underdog. Purdue wins this game.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to split. I like TCU. I think a good thing for TCU in this situation is that, yeah, they got to go on the road, but I'm going to trust that because they had a bye week in between, I believe. So I'm going to trust that even though Purdue went in and got a nice win against Vanderbilt, that TCU had a couple weeks to prepare. They're ready to go on the road. And I think, honestly, this is going to be a fun kind of matchup that's under the radar for that 2:30 slot. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It should be high scoring. Let's see what Purdue can do. But I'm going to take TCU, and they'll probably win by less than a touchdown. So, yeah, I think they'll cover that 2.5 points spread. Jack.
Purdue really surprised me in that game last week against Vanderbilt. And while it was Vanderbilt who only mustered 6 against Georgia, they did hang 45 on them. And the Nevada game was pretty high scoring too in Purdue's opener, but they blew at the end. So I think this game will definitely be a track meet between these two high-powered offenses. And that gives the edge to TCU for me because I think TCU just has the speed and the receivers to win that battle.
Jack, how many more games we got to go?
Just the one, Jared.
Just the one. It's our game of the week, but we won't talk about that because we got to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will detail Kent State and Auburn here on the Extra Point, here on WGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV.
With every single level that I reach and not climb, they ask, are you from outside? Everything around me I create with my mind, working too hard.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm about to be the only. Everybody gonna know me. Gonna be the only one to take it on.
Welcome into the final 15 minutes of the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV. Carter Bird, Aiden Kowalski, and Jack Hart joins me in the studio as we now get to the big game of the week. It is homecoming for the Auburn Tigers as they take on the Kent State Golden Flashes. Auburn and Kent State squaring off this Saturday at 6 o'clock, so it'll be same kickoff as last week. For some people, they don't seem too happy about 6 o'clock. They kind of just want to get this game out the way, to be quite honest.
Well, when the slate for college, it's on ESPN 2.
Yeah, it is.
When the slate for college football is this bad, that's what happens. You put a team that's overmatched by athlete for athlete at every single position by a ton. You put them on ESPN2 to just get slaughtered by Auburn.
Yeah, Kent State average defense allowing 446 yards per game. If you want to know who Kent State has played, they lost to Arizona State 30-7, and then they beat Kennesaw State 26-23
in overtime. Kennesaw State didn't have a football program 5 years ago. That should tell you all you need to know about how bad this Kent State team is. Kennesaw State's really bad. Kent State is just as bad. And Woody Bear's starting quarterback.
So, yeah, things not going as planned for Kent State. Maybe we'll see Woody Bear. Who knows? Apparently, there was talk that he may be banged up, I guess. So, we'll see if we see Woody Barrett Saturday. Do you think people will cheer for him?
I mean, he didn't do anything.
I don't think people will know who he is.
I don't think people know who he is.
He legitimately didn't do anything at Auburn, so, why would people cheer for him? I bet you he gets the same response every single player for Kent State will get during the starting lineup, which is either so what or followed up with a sucks after every player name.
That's right. Do we still do that? Even for Kent State?
We did it for Tulane.
I mean, giving Tulane's a little better.
It's true, but I mean, it's just tradition for the students.
It is.
And it's homecoming, so students are actually going to be there at halftime.
So with that being said, Auburn, Kent State. Aiden, you're up first. Give us a pick.
Here's a footnote. Aiden got the closest score last week. He predicted 26-13, actual 24-6. So just a mere 8 points off the mean there.
Muscle testing, baby. I'm telling you, Carter. And that's why Kent State's only going to score 3 this game. They're going to score 3 points this entire game versus Auburn's 42.
Okay. That would cover the 36
That would cover it.
line that I'm saying. So I'm taking Auburn, obviously. I think this is one of those games where if you look at Kent State, they're giving up almost 500 yards of offense to not very good teams already. I mean, Arizona State's not very good, and you're going to see that this weekend when they play Michigan State. And Kennesaw State, like I said, didn't have a football program 5 years ago. This is a game that also Auburn comes in with. The fan base has a lot of questions about the offense, and I think Gus, regardless of if backups are in the game or not, kind of keeps his foot on the gas and wants to score 50+ to ease those concerns. Kent State's not scoring more than 10 points against the Auburn defense. I think 10 points would be generous, but I'm going to go 55-10 in this game.
A touchdown, even though Tulane didn't even score once.
I think I think Kent State will score against the third string Auburn in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, so it's not happening in the mishaps in the first usually.
No.
Okay.
All right. For me, I'm also gonna pick Auburn. Obviously, offense has to produce something in that first quarter.
Bo Nix is gonna throw it around the yard.
You don't want to get to the end of the first quarter and it be 7-0 Auburn, because that will make a lot of people upset. You got to shock and awe Kent State. I mean, you gotta hit them so hard they don't know what state they're in anymore. Okay,
because we don't know what state they're from.
They're just from
Ohio.
Kent,
Ohio.
Kent. They're from the Kent State.
I know, but
I'm just trying to help.
Murray's not a state.
So I'm going to pick Auburn. I am going to go 52-17.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting
wow.
You're giving them that much.
Well, only because Kent State's obviously going to score against the third and fourth string late in the game.
Why do you say obviously?
But that's all. That's usually what always happens in blowouts. Look at freaking Northern Arizona scoring 4 touchdowns in the second half against Arizona.
That's a
Arizona,
Pac-12 defense.
Well, I mean, New Mexico State scored against Bama.
You just compared Auburn's defense, which is going to be a top 5, top 10 defense in the country this year, to Arizona's defense that couldn't stop a freaking any defense out there.
Auburn hasn't had a blowout this season. I think they're due for one right now, and just not even letting up at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're playing Kent State.
That too.
Anytime
but they could have done it against Tulane.
There's a reason why the line just moved to 36 since we started the show.
Anytime you put in your backups, whether it's third or fourth strings, late in the game, when the first string is still out there for the other team, they're going to give up points. That's how that works.
I think Auburn's fourth strings could compete and maybe beat this Kent State team.
Okay, we'll see. It's not like I'm picking Kent State to keep it close. It's still 52-17. Okay.
I don't think they scored that many points on us.
I don't think Auburn scores that many on them.
Jack,
and that's why you're
wrong.
wrong.
And they can't run.
I think this game will be shades of Georgia State 2017, also a night game. Auburn looking to come up and put on a big show, but not use too much of the playbook.
Agreed.
Saving that for A&M. They need that extra 6 hours to prepare. I think Auburn won't cover. I'll take 41-10, 21-3 at halftime.
That sounds like an Auburn versus Kent State score at halftime. Actually.
That's fair.
Don't be so. I mean, could be 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, for all I know.
Yeah.
But Auburn's gonna pull away. It's gonna be a bigger margin of victory than against Tulane, or we're gonna have some real problems in a couple weeks. Hopefully, the O-line play improves drastically, and I would like to see the play calling on offense be a little more generous to the players than making them do all the work by themselves.
The things that I want to see in this game, though, I want to see DJ Williams play at running back. I want to see us establish a true second running back. We have not done that yet, and that's going to wear Boobie Whitlow down and his already fumbling problem. I would like to see Nick Brahms get some snaps with the starting O-line, because I think that center's the weak spot right now, and I think this is the time to try out a different combination if you're going to try it out. I want to see Bo Nix throw it around the yard, and I want to see somebody step up and take the Seth Williams role.
Sal Cannella.
No. He didn't have the speed or athleticism or the hands.
So he doesn't have anything.
He's got a nice social media page.
I want it to be Marquise McClain. I want Marquise McClain, after hearing that he's this incredible athlete, He should be. He's the most talented receiver on the roster. Heard that before. I want to see him show it, and I want Bo to actually see him when he runs wide open for 74 yards down the middle of the field.
I want to see some screen passes where Eli Stove isn't his own blocker. I think this Auburn offense is built for running a screen pass every now and again, and I think they can be effective. I just don't think the execution or the timing is there.
I want Matthew Hill to catch a handful of balls in the open space and let us see what he can do, because I think he is Ryan Davis, but bigger. And then I wouldn't mind seeing Zach Farrar, the 6'5" grad transfer, just see what he can do.
All right. So we want to see some new guys is what we want to see this week.
Yes. It's the time to see it.
Well, before we head out, just a quick update on an article that ESPN released. Disasters this week in NFL. Both Jameis Winston and Cam Newton are both on there.
Disaster?
So, yes. Now, this is on the fantasy side.
Can we just have them both on the field at the same time, just throwing picks back and forth to each other?
That's how they determine overtime in the NFL. Whoever throws a pick first.
But that's going to do it for the show today. Thank everybody for listening to the show. Remember, you can catch us on SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever you may catch your podcast by searching WGL 91.1 FM. And also, you can catch the show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. For Jack Hart, go Panthers tonight. Hopefully they get a big win for the state of North Carolina. Eat that W. That's right. For Aiden Kowalski and for Carter Bird, I'm Jared Dillard saying so long. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. That does it for the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM and Eagle Eye TV. Want to watch more? Catch replays of the Extra Point on Eagle Eye TV by going to eagleeyeauburn.com. You can also go to WEGL 91.1 FM YouTube page for full replays. Want to listen more? We have you covered. Tune in to Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, and search WEGL 91.1 FM for more of the Extra Point and other sports content. Stay up to date with the latest news and sports by visiting WEGLFM.com. The Extra Point, bringing you the X's and O's from around the plains of Auburn and around the world of sports. Auburn's best sports talk radio show, Auburn's only sports talk TV show. Watch and listen live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. WEGL Sports, where every game lives.
Sometimes good things fall apart.